Yes, and take us camping when you're kids, and you like just threw the tent on it. It's like, here you go, 400 acres, go. Like, yeah.
Real bonding experience.
Yeah, no sympathy from him. Good character.
Well, yes, you got my message, Van, about the bridge. I think that's. Thank you.
That's your trail. I was like, he's 410. Get your headlights.
Yeah.
It's
3:30, you're starting to turn lights on. It's like, dang, I don't even live in the woods. I live in the field.
yeah. They had all their orange ons. They're like just like bobbing.
If that's my curry, you can take the cover off and turn it down more. Sorry, I made dinner for the birthday girls, so it's staying warm on the stove, but I just heard it boil over a little
Oh dear.
from the other room.
You know, is that a person? Is that the
Zoom user.
Is that this each square identified person? Oh. So there's 3 people.
Mhm.
Which, do they do that or do we do that?
What's that?
They switch.
Oh,
Dave and Jim switched over. You know,
they do that. I mean, it just happens.
says it on, so.
I think so. Okay, it is 4:45 on this Tuesday, November 14th, 2023. I'm going to call this regular town board meeting of Connell Point to order. Quick roll call. Mike Anderson.
Here.
Amy Baxter.
Here by Zoom.
Here by Zoom. Susan Brenna.
Yeah.
Samantha Dobson.
Here.
Glenn Carlson. Here. We also have our town clerk, our town administrator, and our public works director and members of the public. And we have some other individuals on Zoom, including a member of the Town Plan Commission. Welcome, Jim. Okay, moving on to public comment A. Is there any public comment? Yes, Paul.
Member, I wish to state my opposition in section 3.1.4, page 8-9 of the rental ordinance. I feel that both the number of events / gatherings and the number of attendees are too high for the S1, W1, and W2 zoning districts and will be unenforceable by the town. As your constituent, I ask that you remove events and gatherings from the rental ordinance.
Thank you, Paul. Charlie?
Charles Berman. I've had a similar concern that I'm kind of concerned about incorporating events and short-term rentals in the newest draft of the rental ordinance.
And as I recall, at the public hearing held back in August, the majority of the people did not want events incorporated with short-term rentals, so please come with that consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Any other public comment?
Yeah, Glenn, it's David Aylen.
Hello, David.
Hi, yeah, I just a comment about the rental ordinance, and I apologize, I can't stay for the whole meeting, but was fairly taken back by the new draft of the ordinance. It's devoid of any controls to manage a growing rental industry, does nothing to address the proliferation of investor-owned properties on the island, which was a hallmark of the ordinance to begin with. Lacks any provisions to manage short-term rentals that are allowable under Wisconsin statute in other communities. It is basically it ignores the good faith efforts of the residents on the island over the last 4 months to come to some sort of balance for managing short-term rentals and long-term rentals on the island. The ordinance as it stands, there is nothing in it outside of the events that the gentleman just mentioned right now that it is wasn't in place last year with this. We have done nothing to advance this ordinance. And I just don't find it's the will of the people. I can't really understand how we got here. And I don't know if this is the final draft, but I'm pretty surprised and shocked. I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, David. Any other public comment? Okay. Hearing none, we will move on, and thank you for your public comments. Next item is to open bids for fire number sign installation, and we have 2 bids. Okay. We have a bid from Joe Abbott to bid $40 per installed sign. They have attached the declaration page of their liability policy and will submit an updated copy for 2024 if awarded the bid. The next bid is from North Farm and Land in Marengo. And they are bidding this is interesting. One bid is $28.55 a piece. The other per sign. The other one is $28.88.
Yeah, I don't know why they sent the 2.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so we have I think we have 2 bids at least. And we will ask the town administration to review them with the Public Works Department and determine whether or not to go with either of those bids or to do the installation in-house. I think that's the direction we're going. Okay.
And to ask what that 88 cents. That means.
Well, that
One of them-
is- yeah, obviously, we would ask either of the bidders clarify and
Don't understand.
Okay. Moving on, the town administrator's report. Any questions or comments with Michael? Go ahead.
I have a question, Michael. The county you met with, you have on the first page, bullet point number 4, in the second paragraph, county administrators on November 2nd, you met with Dan Grady and Bayfield County Administrator Mark Allison. Did anything come of that or just meet and greet?
I think Mark wanted to get a better understanding of the dispute between the county, to see if there was any ideas he had that could bridge the gap that exists between the town and county. He forwarded some links to some law enforcement funding that he is aware is available
in general, most of those deadlines are passed for this year, but that would be the only thing that really came of it, outside of just conversation, keeping communication open.
Okay.
Any other questions for Michael on his report?
Were there any, did you three come up with any ideas for how to proceed with the after school program?
No, we did not, other than I have a call into Randy Johnson. I have actually a couple calls now into Randy Johnson. I think she may be away currently. But I am trying to get together with her in person.
Okay.
To discuss that and a number of other issues. So that's where that stands. Any other questions for Michael?
On the back page, number 7, under comprehensive plan, is the potential business owner like a new business?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it would be a new person to the island. They did not say what business they would be opening, but they would be a new business operator.
Okay.
And they were having difficulty finding the kind of data that other lenders are looking for to understand the market and their potential revenue risks of opening.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments for Michael? Okay, moving on. Public Works Director's report. Questions or comments for Ben?
Oh, I have a question for Ben.
Go ahead.
Are the reservations pretty normal, like last year at this time?
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah, weekends are filling up for next
filling
year
up fast?
at a usual rate.
That was one.
Any other questions for Ben? Comments? Thank you, Ben. Murph Supervisor's report.
Oh, they're not, like, if you talk to Michael or Marty, just like how, I was kind of wondering how Woodstock, the yellow truck is it running good, keeping up? I think from last year,
Running great,
running great,
running to Ashland frequently.
good purpose.
What?
That was my question.
Any other questions? Okay, moving on. Airport Manager. Planning and zoning. Accounting. Police chief. Fire chief.
Oh, I didn't get
It just arrived today, Amy,
Oh, okay.
the fire chief's report. I don't know that it was, I don't know if it was emailed out to you or not, but yeah, we did get it just today, I believe. Okay, ambulance service. Okay. There unanimous consent to place the reports on file?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Moving on, Public Works, Roads, Dock and Harbor. We have language in the meeting memo looking to hire Karen Thomas as a temporary non-CDL driver at $18 an hour from November 15th to December 31st.
I'll make a motion to hire Thomas as a temporary non-CDL driver at $18 an hour from November 15th till December 31st, 2023.
Your second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item, parks. We have a request to transfer some unused hours.
I'll make a motion to transfer 80 unused hours from Camp Host number 2 to Camp Host number 1 for the remainder of calendar year 2023. Camp Host 2 was budgeted 800 hours through October 28th and 111 hours remaining.
Is there a second?
Comment?
Amy seconded. Okay. Any discussion?
Yeah, I was wondering, what are the camp host duties right now? Just the online reservation?
Yes, and managing the email account.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Any other question? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And now we've got the Parks 1 to roads transfer of hours. Is there a motion to transfer 80 unused hours from Parks 1 to roads for use by the temporary non-CDL drivers for the remainder of calendar year 2023? Motion.
I'll make a motion that we transfer 80 hours from parks to roads for the remainder of the year.
Okay.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, committees, planning and zoning. We've all received the rental ordinance that has been considered and approved by the Town Plan Commission. My inclination at this point is to treat this as a first reading and to put this on the agenda for the next regular town board meeting. But in the meantime, does anyone have any particular comments?
I do. I'll have, I think the planning and zoning people worked hard at it. I think they listened to the hearing on August 31st, and I think they took it to heart and went back and they eliminated the issue was about the 7 days or longer that was taken right out. So there is no issue about that anymore. And the event, they eliminated events in the R zone except for the 5 acres and they get a permit. I don't know which word you use, slim that up or whatever. So I don't know. I think they did a pretty good job as far as, trying to please. You're not going to please everybody. You're just not going to do it. So
thank you, man.
So my comment is actually on the events and the gathering. It's based on 9 years of front desk at the So there are many, many groups and families that come up to the island for family reunions. And sometimes they'll rent as many as 7, 8 houses. And then what they do is they all get together at whatever is the biggest house. So I don't see that the event or the gathering being 3 times with the sleeping is going to be enforceable. And so I hate to pass something that we know is a rule and then not be able to enforce it. So that's just my comment on those 2 things.
And Sue, further to that, I do notice, and I don't know if this is something that CPC can clarify, but in one spot, they refer to events being limited to 6 times the sleeping capacity, but in the definitional sections, they refer to it as 3 times the sleeping capacity.
Okay,
So I'm not sure on that.
so that's something we have to
Clarify.
I think no matter what the capacity, that's gonna be really hard to enforce, because for one thing, they don't even let. The only reason I know that those even went on is that the people chatted with me, like when they were checking out, yeah, we had a great time, we had the reunion at blah, blah house, it was perfect, so I just think it'd be hard to enforce.
Thank you. Any other comments at this point? Obviously, this is just a first reading. We'll have more discussion next time. My comment is under the expiration of the rental permits. I think we had talked about having it be June 14th or 15th, and it still shows May 14th in the draft. on,
This was passed before the budget discussions. Moved
Right.
The rental fee permit deadline from May to June.
got it.
So they're aware.
Okay, okay.
Well, I think to your other question, maybe Jim Peters could clarify this, but an event is defined as anything more than 3 times the sleeping capacity, and the maximum number of people allowed at an event is 6 times the sleeping capacity.
Got it. Okay. So it doesn't become an event or a gathering until it hits the 3 times, and then the limit is the 6 times. Okay,
So
thanks.
if you had 3 times or more, you would need.
Got it. Thank you. That's helpful. Okay, any other comments, points at this point? I don't know that we need a motion to put this
Postpone
on,
it?
to defer this till the next meeting. Okay,
I'll make a motion, we postpone that till the next town board meeting.
okay.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, service contract between the town and Lang Enterprises. And this is the work that they did in assisting us with coming up with the numbering scheme.
No,
No,
this is to manufacture the sign.
Oh.
Slide of hardware.
Sorry. I'm confused.
Voucher to pay them the work.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That's what I saw. Okay,
I'll make a
Thank you.
motion to authorize the town chairman to sign the contract between the town of LaPointe and Lang Enterprises as presented.
I'll second.
okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, next Energy Committee, Bucky has submitted his resignation from the committee. We need a motion to accept resignation.
I'll make a motion to accept Craig's resignation.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is the RFP for solar installation on the ESB. And under the grant, we're trying to we're setting aside $50,000 in the draft 2024 budget for that. This is just to give the committee permission to request proposals. This would be for a ground mounted array rather than on the roof. Their motion to allow them to.
I'll make a motion to authorize them to start with RFPs, but I want Michael to explain something first.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion.
So it briefly explained, so what are they gonna do? We got turned down twice for,
Correct, so the Energy Committee is shelving the proposal that had been turned down twice, and that was for a microgrid connecting town hall, the library, and the clinic using 2 solar arrays that exist currently.
okay,
What this new proposal is to create essentially 1 building microgrid at the ESB, install a new ground-mounted solar array, install a battery, utilize the existing generator. They believe it is not only they believe it'll be more competitive under the grant guidelines that have been in place. There definitely will be the possibility for the town to recoup its investment. Currently, they're estimating in 6 to 7 years, whereas with the quote unquote downtown microgrid, there'd be no savings and no chance of recouping the investment for a much more expensive proposal. So that's the summary of what they're doing, essentially creating, essentially restoring solar power to the ESB and creating a microgrid as a result of that, so that the resiliency would be in that building.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Any other questions? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, Town Hall Administration, we have a engagement letter from the auditors for audit for next year of the 2023 financials. And Michael has described their proposal in his report. Is there a motion to accept their engagement proposal?
I'll make the motion to accept the Pines Box engagement,
Baker Tilly.
Baker Tilly.
Yeah,
This is the one,
yeah,
I
it's,
got the wrong sheet.
yeah,
Okay,
here's, right here.
okay. Baker Tilly, I make a motion, we approve the Baker Tilly letter of engagement to audit 2023 finances.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. So. That. Update on treasurer job posting. We have received one applicant. One application for this, and so the question is, does, and as everyone knows, Carol has agreed to serve until mid-February when the tax settlements are made. And so the question for the board is, would you like to proceed with interviewing the one candidate that we have? Or continue to keep the position open until we have more candidates?
Well, obviously, we should interview the one person to apply. I'm not opposed to.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing you say, Mike, is let's interview the person, and if they're good,
Yeah.
we'll bring them before the town
Yeah.
board for approval. Okay. Is everyone in agreement with that?
Well, unless they're outstanding candidate or something, and if we say, if Michael comes back to us and says, yeah, they're very good. I don't see why.
Right, but I still think that it should be. I mean, that decision shouldn't be instantaneous at the end of the interview. It normally takes some discussion of whoever's doing the interview or even some thought processes. And I just think, based on my experience of interviewing people where there isn't a lot of people applying, it's good to interview them as they apply and then tell them that it might be a couple of weeks before they hear back. And then if they hear back the next day because they were terrific.
It has the deadline's up, right? I mean, yeah, the deadline's up. So I mean, I just look at it as people who applied, who are interested, they apply, interview them and.
Would anybody on the board care to participate in the interview?
I love interviewing people.
Okay, so would, I think it would be anyone else?
I would ask Carol whether she wants to or not.
Yeah.
I would ask Carol
That was
Yeah.
gonna be my suggestion, but
Yeah.
yeah.
to sit in, she knows what it's all about.
So Michael, could you arrange, I'll be involved, Carol, if she's willing, and Sue.
The interview junkie.
The interview junkie, okay. Moving on. The next item is the 2024 budget. We've all been waiting for. We have the latest materials from Michael, which incorporate all of the changes that we reached consensus on at our last meeting. Are there any additional changes that anybody would like to see? And I will say that I did talk to Michael about my thoughts on the police budget, and that I think it's still high, higher than what I think is sustainable for the town. But I don't think it's that much higher than where I would think it should be. I mean, I'm thinking it's probably no more than 5% above where I think it should be. And so unless, I mean, my thinking would be, let's go with where it is right now, but let's have a review of the police budget after the first quarter of 2024. We're gonna have a new officer joining us out of the academy. We're gonna see whether Ashland gets their act together and can actually provide police service on the island. You know, it's a quiet period. We'll also know whether or not we're going to have an ice road or have had an ice road and that impact on the police. So that's just my personal opinion.
So what you're saying is keep it as it is now. And then, well, we'll ask Bill to monitor it monthly or whatever he needs to. He needs to monitor it daily. I don't care. Just monitor it. And if he sees it's getting out of hand again, then we jump in and do something.
Well, I think we would be more proactive, that we actually plan to to actually have a review in, let's say, April of next
After
year.
the first quarter?
Yeah, after the first quarter. And see where we are. That's my only caveat on the budget is that piece.
Well, I'm all for, and this would definitely change the numbers, but I'm all for Ashland County picking up more of the time, being more responsible than what they are. Whatever that means plugging, you know, the vacation days in, that we don't cover our vacation days. Fine, I don't care how they do it. 6 days doesn't make any difference.
I think the consensus from our last meeting was that we would rely on Ashland County to cover vacations. So,
Yeah.
Correct. The chief is aware
okay,
that under most circumstances, our officers would not backfill for each other for vacation, training, sick time, that kind of thing.
thank you. Okay, anybody else have any comments on the budget? Any concerns? Okay, is there a motion to, and I guess we are proposing this budget for,
But we still need to formally approve a budget after the levy is decided.
got it. So this is a recommended budget that will go before the public on December 5th at 5 p.m. in this very room. So is there a motion to that effect?
I will make a motion to present the budget in the amount of $3,859,575 for 2024.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Second, we have, I think Sam beat you to it, Amy.
Alrighty.
Okay, any further discussion? And your truck is in here, Ben.
Right away.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all very much. Moving on, vouchers.
I will make a motion to approve the vouchers in the amount of $78,726.13.
For a second,
I'll second.
moved and seconded, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
I'll abstain. I haven't seen him.
Oh, that's right, you haven't, okay. Motion carries. Next item, minutes. We have 5 sets of minutes. I think we can probably do them all at once.
Yeah.
Okay,
I make a motion, we approve the regular town board meeting minutes for October 24th, the special town board meeting for October 25th, Special town board meeting minutes for October 26th. Special town board meeting for November 7th. and Special town board meeting minutes for November 9th.
There a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Alex. Next item, emergency services, anything?
What's something? Yeah, I've heard rumors of here, they may have seen.
I did. It's been time. All right.
Whether to do that this week.
Yeah, no kidding. Thank you. Okay, next is public comment B. Do we have any additional public comment, Paul?
Wish the town planning commission would have had another public hearing regarding this rental ordinance. They passed it at their last meeting. Week 9, they had a comment. It was a few minutes after their meeting, that their public comment be, or at this meeting, at their public comment sections. I had to get a copy from the town hall. I know they want to quick get it through and pass it before the end of the year. But usually when you're rushed to do something, that's when you make mistakes. Someone says you have to pass this now, that's when you take 2 steps back and say no.
Thank you, Paul. Any other public comment? I will say that I do think it probably would be appropriate for us to have another public hearing on this as a town board. But we will talk about that under new agenda items for future meetings. Okay, any other public comment? Okay, next item, liquor and operators licenses. Nothing. Lawsuits and legal. I think we're gonna have, are we having a special meeting next week?
They have a special meeting next week.
Okay.
Regarding.
Regarding our,
Our lawyers.
Yeah.
Well, we, with this, Tax Appeals Commission, action and whether or not they want to talk in detail about the lawsuits on the claim against the company.
two separate things.
And that'll be next Wednesday.
They are both, that's the first time they are both available.
Okay, which is
The day before
Thanksgiving. Okay,
Thanksgiving Eve.
okay.
Oh, Thanksgiving Eve.
That's a new thing, Thanksgiving Eve.
I love
Making the
Thanksgiving.
Right. Okay,
Oh, we're
we'll
not-
set up that time, unless it's been set up already, Michael. The
It
time,
is not,
okay. All right, you'll let us know.
well, I would say suggested preferred time for you.
45,
Sooner the better for everybody, probably, I would think.
Sam,
I'll
45?
be off island, but I can zoom in.
I'll be off island too, but I'll come in also.
They'll be
Would it-
zooming in too, so we'll have.
You'll have a-
Yeah, I see whatever consensus is, I can.
I'll be here.
Maybe we should do it like at 4 or something if people are available,
I'm available. I'll be available at 4.
because it is
It's time
Thanksgiving.
for dinner, yeah.
I was till 4 o'clock with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, moving right on into new agenda items for future meetings. And I would like to suggest that we schedule a public hearing on the rental ordinance. I know it's been public hearinged before, but not since incorporating the changes that were made from before. So I think when people
Agreed.
now have okay.
Well, okay. That's fine, but shouldn't we give them a chance to have the public hearing? The town planning?
They've
commission?
had public hearings.
They've had 2.
Not since they've changed this though.
Correct. And they're not obligated to have any public.
That's what I'm saying. Shouldn't we,
And they-
maybe they want to do it themselves?
They come on and have another public hearing.
Okay, well, that changes.
I believe I'm accurately reflecting the preferences of the committee that they believe they had 2 public hearings and a Q&A session. And that they have done their due diligence to get the sentiment of the community.
So what you're saying is that we should, as a town board,
Mhm.
hold the public hearing?
Yes.
Okay.
date to be determined. We've got a bunch of stuff coming up. I don't personally see the urgency. I know what Ed said about, but the rental year doesn't start till June. So I don't know why he was saying it needs to be done by the end of the calendar
Because
year.
typically renewal letters are sent in midwinter. Then renewal letters that people pay attention to are sent in spring. And then renewal letters that, oh my gosh, I have to get the permit because I have renters and I haven't paid my fee yet. So he's just trying to get a head start so he knows exactly what to tell people, what will be allowed and not allowed. So that's his reason for trying to have a timetable that is earlier in 2024 than the permit deadline.
Got it. Okay. Well, I think let's shoot for maybe something in December.
It just has to be posted 15 days. before you-
Okay, thank you.
And I would ask a member, a member of the planning commission to be present. Ask, I said, if they don't want to be present, then fine, but because they know more about it than I do.
Oh, yeah, well,
I didn't sit on there when they
Granted.
made up the.
no, it's a public hearing, so it's not like a Q&A. So we're just listening to what people have to say.
But I'm saying that they've been through it twice and they know more than I do, at least. Maybe you know more than them, but I don't.
Okay, any other agenda items?
I have a joint powers agreement between Ashland County for next.
The annual joint public.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other? Michael,
Not that comes to mind.
we can always add. Okay, this is amazing. We are now moving on to the final item.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Bye, Amy. See you soon.
When you coming back?
Well, we're leaving Edisto Island tomorrow to go to my friend's house for one night, and then we're driving back Thursday and Friday.
We'll be here for our Thanksgiving evening.
Is everyone done with these?
Yeah.
I have to sign it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Samantha. Thank you, Julie. Yeah. Thank you, Michael.